For decades, the advice we've all gotten on fitness and nutrition has been pretty much one size fits all. But what if that one size was really just designed for men? It's time to dive into why the rules of health and longevity are actually fundamentally different for women.
And this quote right here from Dr. Stacy Sims really gets to the heart of the problem. Think about it. The vast majority of sports and exercise science, all the research that informs our workout plans and nutrition guides, was historically done on male subjects. The issue is that data just doesn't translate. Women's physiology, our hormonal environment, it's a completely different ballgame.
And this isn't just some abstract academic problem. No, this has huge, real-world consequences. 70%, that's how many hip fractures happen in women. And a hip fracture isn't a minor injury. It can be absolutely devastating and seriously increase mortality risk within a year. So you see, the stakes are so much higher than just looking good. We're talking about avoiding frailty and actually living a long, strong life.
So the big question is, if the old rules are out the window, what are the new ones? Well, the great news is that a whole new framework is emerging, one that's built specifically for female physiology. It's based on a few key pillars that can totally change the game for a woman's health span. Let's break it all down.
Okay, first things first. We have to completely rethink muscle. For way too long, it's been all about aesthetics, or, being able to lift heavy things. But the science is screaming at us now. For women, muscle is the engine of your health.
We now know that muscle is a primary metabolic organ. I want you to think of it like mission control for your entire body. It's not just sitting there. It's actively managing your blood sugar, fighting off insulin resistance, and it's even sending signals, literally talking, to your brain and your bones. The bottom line is simple. More muscle means better metabolic health. Period.
And the benefits are incredible. We're talking about actively fighting the inflammation that comes with conditions like PCOS. It literally helps your brain create new neurons, which means better cognition. It leads to deeper, better sleep. And get this, it's geroprotective. It's a fancy term, but it just means muscle is the single most important thing besides your ovaries for protecting you from the declines that come with aging.
So you can see why this requires a total mindset shift. It's time to throw out those old goals. The goal is no longer to be small or to chase some random number on a scale. The new goal is to be strong. The goal is to recompose your body by building that powerful lean mass and to focus on what your body can do and how well it's going to serve you for decades to come.
Now let's move on to our second pillar, which builds right on top of the first, your frame. Your bones aren't just inert scaffolding. They are a living, dynamic system that you need to actively build and maintain.
And here's why this is so critical for women. That drop in estrogen that happens during the menopausal transition can cause a massive dive in bone density. We're talking up to 20% in just a handful of years. That creates a huge window of vulnerability, which makes proactive bone building absolutely non-negotiable.
Okay, and this is a big one, because there's a lot of confusion out there about what actually builds bone. Look, activities like Pilates and yoga are awesome. They're fantastic for mobility, balance, core strength, all super important stuff. But they are complements. They are not a substitute. If you want to build serious bone density, your body needs the specific stress that comes from lifting heavy weights and from impact like jumping. That's the signal that screams at your bones, hey, get stronger.
All right, on to pillar number 3, fuel. For women, nutrition is so much more than calories in, calories out. It's all about working with your hormonal system, not against it. Let's take fasting, super popular right now. But those prolonged 16-plus hour fasts that might work great for guys, for a lot of women, that can be a major stressor on the body. It can mess with your hormonal command center, your hypothalamus, and even encourage your body to store more of that dangerous visceral fat. A much better approach for women is time-restricted eating within a shorter 12-hour window. It just works with your natural body clock.
And the single most important building block for all that vital muscle and bone we need? Protein. You have to understand that the standard recommendation, the RDA, is basically just a survival dose. It's the bare minimum to not get sick. For an active, strong body, you need an optimal dose. And a much better target is about 1 gram of protein per pound of your ideal body weight.
So how do we put all of this together? Let's build a simple, effective weekly blueprint that brings all these principles to life.
The core strategy is something called polarized training. It sounds fancy, but it just means you go hard on your hard days and you go easy on your easy days. You focus on 2 extremes, very high-intensity workouts that tell your body to get stronger, and very low-intensity activity for recovery. The key is to avoid that mushy middle ground, that moderate intensity zone where you're just elevating stress hormones without getting a big enough reward.
So, what does a perfect week look like? It's pretty simple. 3 days a week, you're going to lift heavy things. Focus on big, compound movements. Each of those days, you start with 10 minutes of mobility work to prep your joints. You finish with some kind of impact, box jumps, short sprints, to stimulate that bone growth. And on your off days, you recover smart with low-intensity movement like walking. The focus here is on quality and purpose, not just on logging hours.
Let's end on this, because this idea is so powerful. That old story about aging for women, the one where we inevitably become weak and frail, it's just that. It's an old story. It is not our biological destiny. By understanding our own physiology and training the right way, we get to write a completely different, much stronger ending.
So really, the question isn't whether you can age powerfully. The question is, how will you choose to do it? The tools are here. The science is clear. It's about making the choice to build your strength for your future, starting today.